Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm Daniel, and you're listening to Level 2. Thank you so much for being here today. It truly means a lot. Today we're diving into something really important, learning from mistakes. Grab a coffee and let's jump right in. Joining me today is our wonderful guest, Sarah.
Hi, Daniel. And hi, everyone listening. I am so excited to be here. Honestly, this topic is basically the story of my life.
Haha, I think it's the story of everyone's life, Sarah. We all mess up sometimes, but it's about how we handle it, right?
Exactly. You know, just the other day, I made a huge mistake. It wasn't life-changing, but it felt terrible in the moment.
Oh, really? I want to hear all about it. But before we get into the details, hold on a second. Let's pause for our listeners. Sarah used the phrase mess up earlier. To mess up just means to make a mistake or do something wrong. It's very common.
Right, like when you drop your phone or forget a birthday. You messed up. Anyway, so let me set the scene for you, Daniel.
Please do. I want to visualize it. Where were you? What time was it? Give us all the details.
Okay. So, it was last Tuesday morning. It was really early, maybe around 6 a.m. The sun wasn't even fully up yet.
6 a.m.? Wow, that is early. I'm usually still hitting the snooze button at that time. What were you doing up so early?
Well, I wanted to bake a cake for my sister's birthday. I wanted it to be a surprise, you know, before she woke up.
That is so sweet. A surprise birthday cake. Okay, so you are in the kitchen. Is it quiet? Is it loud?
It was completely silent. Dead silent. The only sound was the refrigerator humming in the corner. You know that low buzzing sound?
I know exactly what you mean. That morning, quietness is special. Okay, wait. Let me stop you there for a quick expression check. Sarah said dead silent. This doesn't mean someone died. It just means absolutely, completely quiet. No noise at all. Okay, back to the kitchen.
Thanks, Daniel. So, it's dead silent. I walked across the floor and the tiles were freezing cold against my bare feet. It woke me up immediately.
Ooh, I hate that feeling. Cold floors in the morning are the worst. Did you put on slippers?
No, I didn't have time. I was on a mission. I went straight to the cupboard to get the flour and sugar.
You were focused. I like that. So, you are gathering ingredients. Did you have a recipe, or were you doing it from memory?
I had a recipe on my phone. But to be honest, I was feeling pretty confident. Maybe a little too confident, actually.
Uh-oh. That sounds like a warning sign. Overconfidence is usually where the trouble starts.
Totally. I cracked the eggs into the bowl. Crack, crack, crack. The sound was so satisfying. Then I started whisking them together.
Wait, pause right there. Listeners, Sarah mentioned whisking. To whisk means to mix something very fast, usually with a tool called a whisk or a fork, to add air.
Yep. So I was whisking away, feeling like a professional chef. I even did a little dance. I was really getting into the groove.
I love that image. Dancing in the kitchen at 6 a.m. So everything is going well. Where does the mistake happen?
Well, here is the thing. I needed to add sugar. The recipe called for 1 cup of sugar. I reached for the jar on the counter.
Okay, sounds simple enough. Grab the sugar jar, pour it in. What could possibly go wrong with that?
That's what I thought. I took a big scoop of the white powder and dumped it into the bowl. I mixed it all in perfectly.
I have a bad feeling about this. You said white powder. Sarah, was it actually sugar?
I didn't check. I just assumed. It looked like sugar. It felt like sugar. I poured the batter into the pan and put it in the oven.
So the cake is in the oven. You are feeling proud. You are waiting for that delicious smell of baking cake, right?
Exactly. I sat down with my coffee, waiting. About 20 minutes later, I started to smell something. Interesting.
Interesting good or interesting bad? Usually baking cakes smell like heaven, like vanilla and warmth.
It didn't smell like vanilla. It smelled savory. Kind of salty. I was so confused. I walked over to the oven and sniffed the air.
Quick pause here. Sniffed. To sniff means to smell something using short breaths through your nose. Like a dog does. Okay, Sarah, you sniffed the air.
Yes. And my heart sank. I suddenly remembered that I refilled the jars yesterday. I put salt in the sugar jar.
Oh no! You put a full cup of salt into a birthday cake? That is a disaster. What did you do?
I panicked. I pulled the cake out of the oven. It looked beautiful, golden brown, but I knew it was a salt bomb.
A salt bomb. That is a great description. Did you taste it? Just to be sure? Maybe it wasn't that bad?
I had to try it. I took a tiny crumb. Daniel, it was the most disgusting thing I have ever eaten. My tongue was burning.
I can only imagine. Pure salt cake. Yuck! So that was the mistake. Mistaking salt for sugar. A classic kitchen nightmare.
It really was. I felt so stupid. I just sat on the floor and stared at this salty cake. I wanted to cry.
Oh, Sarah, I understand. You put so much effort in. Let's look at the language here. Sarah said she felt stupid. We often beat ourselves up when we make mistakes. To beat yourself up means to criticize yourself or feel guilty about something you did wrong. Don't do that, guys. It happens.
You're right. I was beating myself up. But then my sister walked into the kitchen. She saw me sitting on the floor with the cake.
Oh boy. The birthday girl arrives. Did she ask what happened? Did she try the cake?
She looked at me, looked at the cake, and asked, "Is that for me?" She looked so happy. I didn't have the heart to tell her yet.
That is such a tough moment. You don't want to ruin the surprise, but you also don't want to feed her salt cake.
Exactly. So I just said, "Happy birthday." She took a fork and took a huge bite before I could stop her.
No way! She actually ate it? What was her reaction? Did she spit it out?
Her eyes went wide. She froze. Then she started laughing. Like hysterical laughing. She couldn't stop.
She laughed? That's the best reaction possible. She wasn't angry at all?
Not at all. She thought it was hilarious. We both ended up laughing on the kitchen floor until our stomachs hurt.
That is heartwarming. But let's pause for a sec. Sarah said hilarious. This is a great word. It means extremely funny. If you laugh until your stomach hurts, the situation is hilarious. Okay, so you guys are laughing. Then what?
Well, we threw the cake in the trash. Obviously. And then we decided to go out for breakfast instead. Pancakes and waffles.
A happy ending. And no cooking required. So, looking back, what did you learn from this salty experience?
I learned to label my jars. That is the practical lesson. But deeply, I learned not to take things so seriously.
That is a powerful lesson. Sometimes the mistake creates a funny memory that is better than the success.
Totally. If the cake had been perfect, we would have just eaten it. But the salt cake. We will talk about that story for years.
That's so true. It became a core memory. But tell me, have you baked a cake since then? Or are you scared?
I was a little scared at first. I didn't bake for a month. I had trust issues with my kitchen ingredients.
Haha, trust issues with sugar. That's funny. But you eventually got back on the horse, right? Listeners, get back on the horse is an idiom. It means to try again after you fail. So, Sarah, did you get back on the horse?
I did. I baked cookies last weekend. And guess what? I tasted the white powder before putting it in. Just a tiny lick.
Smart move. Verify before you bake. That is a great strategy. You know, this applies to learning English, too.
Oh, absolutely. How so? You mean like making mistakes when speaking?
Yes. Imagine you use the wrong word. Maybe you say I am boring instead of I am bored. It's a mistake.
Oh, I've heard people say that. It can be embarrassing. But just like the cake, you can laugh about it.
Exactly. If you say I am boring, people might laugh, but they understand. And you will never forget the difference again.
It sticks in your brain because of the emotion. The embarrassment helps you learn. Just like the salt taste helped me remember.
Precisely. The emotion locks the memory in. So mistakes are actually powerful tools. We shouldn't avoid them.
I agree. But it's hard, Daniel. No one likes failing. No one likes that feeling of oops in the moment.
I know. It's uncomfortable. Let's talk about that uncomfortable feeling. When you realized the cake was salty, where did you feel it?
In my stomach. It dropped. Like when you are on a roller coaster. Just a heavy, sinking feeling.
That sinking feeling? Let's explain that. It's a physical sensation in your gut when you realize something bad has happened.
Yeah. And my face got hot. I could feel the heat rising up my neck. I was blushing even though no one was there.
That is interesting. Blushing when you are alone. It shows how strong our internal judge is. We judge ourselves.
We really are our own worst critics. But you know, hearing my sister laugh snapped me out of it instantly.
Snapped me out of it. Good phrase. It means to suddenly stop being in a bad mood or a trance. Her laughter broke the tension.
It did. It reminded me that the relationship is more important than the cake. The goal was to make her happy, right?
Right. And ironically, you did make her happy. She laughed. You spent time together. Mission accomplished, in a weird way.
Exactly. Sometimes the mistake leads you to the destination anyway, just by a different road. A saltier road.
A saltier road. I love that. So for our listeners trying to speak English, what is your advice if they mess up?
Own it. Just smile and say, oops, I made a mistake. Don't hide. Don't stop speaking.
Simple but hard. Own it means to accept responsibility and be confident about it. Don't apologize too much.
Right. If I had apologized for 20 minutes to my sister, it would have been awkward. But because we laughed, it was fine.
That is a key point. Your reaction determines how other people react. If you panic, they panic. If you laugh, they laugh.
It's all about energy. You set the tone. Even when you have a mouthful of salt.
Haha. I am never going to forget this salt cake story. It is the perfect example of learning from mistakes.
I'm glad my kitchen disaster could be useful for something. Maybe I should write a cookbook of mistakes.
That would actually be a bestseller. Sarah's Salty Surprises. I would buy it.
Hey, that's catchy. I might actually do that. You can write the foreword, Daniel.
I would be honored. All right, we are getting close to the end, but I want to ask one more thing. When you make a mistake now, do you still get that hot feeling? Or is it easier?
It's much easier. I still feel a little pinch of, oh no, but it goes away faster. I remind myself this is just data.
Just data. I like that. It's information to help you do better next time. Not a judgment of your character.
Exactly. I am not a bad baker because of one bad cake. And I am not a bad English speaker because of one bad sentence.
Boom. Mic drop. That is the quote of the day. Listeners, write that down. You are not your mistakes.
Thank you, Daniel. It's been so fun sharing this story, even if it was a little embarrassing.
Thank you for being so open. Vulnerability is a strength, and it makes for great podcast episodes. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And truly, thank you for spending your time with us. I hope today's topic helps you in your daily life. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this with your friends. Stay curious, and I'll catch you later.